Hi, in this lesson, let us discuss the slope of a line. So the slope of a line has a formula, but in order to show where the formula came from, let us draw a sample coordinate plane system. So let's say this is our coordinate plane system. We have the x and y axis. And for example, we have a certain straight line. And in this straight line, let's consider 2 points. Say this is point 1, and the coordinates of point 1 is rather are x1, y1, and say we have another point, point 2. So let's say this is point 2. The coordinates are x2, y2. The slope of a line is the ratio of rise over run. Now, what is rise? What is run? Rise is the vertical distance or the change in y. So the change in y divided by the run is the change in x or the delta x. So what's delta y, delta x? Delta x is this distance right here. The vertical, rather the horizontal distance between the 2 points. So this is delta x. And this is equal to the difference between the x coordinates. x2 minus x1. And also, the vertical distance between these 2 points, this is delta y. Okay? And delta y is the difference of the y coordinate values. y2 minus y1. And all we have to do is substitute these values, delta y and delta x, into our slope formula. Therefore, we can say the slope m, slope is usually denoted by the variable m, is equal to delta y, y2 minus y1, divided by delta x, which is x2 minus x1. And that's our slope formula. Anyway, what's the meaning of slope? Slope is just the steepness of a line. It measures how steep of a line is. So let's say if the slope is positive, so if the slope is positive, our line goes up from left to right. While if the slope is negative, our line goes down from left to right. How about if our slope is 0? The line is horizontal. And if our slope is undefined, our line is vertical. Okay, so always remember this concept. Okay, now let's proceed to answering some example problems. Problem number 1. Determine the slope of the line that passes through the points negative 2, 1 and 3, 5. So first, let me copy the points. We have negative 2, 1, and then we have the point 3, 5. So our straight line passes through these 2 points. Excuse me. And what's the first step? Okay, to avoid confusion, let us put a label on these points. So let's say this is point 1 and this is point 2. If this is point 1, it means this is x1, y1, while this is x2, y2. Anyway, you can interchange. You can set this as point 2 while this is point 1, as long as you're consistent with the subscripts. So if this is point 2, this will be x2, y2. And if this is point 1, this is x1, y1. Are we clear? Okay. Now let's copy the slope formula. So the slope formula is m equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. And all we have to do is substitute these values. So the slope m is equal to y2 is 5, minus y1, which is 1, divided by x2, which is 3, minus x1, negative 2. Okay, now let's evaluate this. 5 minus 1 is 4. And then this would be positive, negative times negative. Okay, so this becomes 3 plus 2, and 3 plus 2 is 5. So 4 over 5, which means our slope is 4 over 5. Okay, now what can you say about our slope? The value 4 over 5 is positive, right? So we can say our slope is positive. And what can we say about the line that has a positive slope? The line goes up from left to right. So how sure are we that this line, or the line that passes through the 2 points, is going up from left to right? Well, let's check. So let's try to graph. Okay, so let's say this is our coordinate plane system. Let's plot the point negative 2, 1. So negative 2, 1 is this point right here, okay? Negative 2, 1, when x is negative 2, y is 1. While point 2 is 3, 5. X is 3, y is 5. So somewhere right here. And what can you say? If we draw a single straight line passing through these 2 points, okay, like this, it is very evident that our line goes up from left to right, just like what we have said earlier. Let's move to the next problem. Next, determine the slope of the line that passes through the points negative 6, 0, and 2, negative 4. Let me copy the points. Negative 6, 0, and the other point is 2, negative 4. Okay, first step again, let's put label. Let's call this point 1. Let's call this point 2. Therefore, this is x1, y1. This is x2, y2. Now, let's substitute directly into the slope formula. M is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. y2 is negative 4 minus y1 is 0 divided by x sub 2, which is 2, minus x sub 1, which is negative 6. Now let's evaluate this. Negative 4 minus 0, still negative 4. And then we have 2, and this becomes plus 2 plus 6. And 2 plus 6 is 8. So we have negative 4 over 8. And we have to simplify this into simplest form, or reduce to simplest form, by dividing both sides by 4. Which means our slope is negative 1/2. Are we clear? And since our slope is negative, it means our line goes down from left to right. That is our prediction from earlier. Now, to make sure that our line is indeed going downwards from left to right, let us graph this linear equation. Okay, so let's say this is our coordinate plane system. Let us plot the points. Let's start with point 1. The coordinates are negative 6, 0. When x is negative 6, y is 0. So that's right here. It is an x-intercept. Next, point 2, 2, negative 4. When x is 2, y is negative 4. So that point is right here. And what can we say about that? We can draw a straight line passing through these 2 points. So what can we say? Our line goes down from left to right, just like what we have predicted. Let's proceed to the next problem. Determine the slope of the line that passes through the points negative 5, 1 and 3, 1. Let us copy the points negative 5, 1, while the other point is 3, 1. Again, let us label. So let's say this is point 1 and this is point 2. So this is x1, y1, x2, y2. Next, let us write down the slope formula. y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. y2 is 1 minus y1. Our y1 is 1 divided by x2 is 3 minus x1, which is negative 5. 1 minus 1 is 0 at the top, while this becomes plus. So that's 3 plus 5. Let's write directly. That's 8. Therefore, the slope is equal to 0 divided by 8 is 0. Okay? And as we know, or as we mentioned earlier, 0 slope is a horizontal line. And again, let us check by graphing these points and drawing a straight line passing through them. Let's say this is 3, x, y. Say this is negative 5, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. Okay, so let's begin plotting points. First, let's start with point 1. Point 1 is negative 5, 1. So when x is negative 5, y is 1. So assuming this is 1, so that point is right here. While the other point is 3, 1. When x is 3, y is 1. So that point is right here. And it's very clear. We can draw a horizontal line passing through these 2 points. Okay? Sorry for that. So you get the point, okay? Please bear with my drawing. Okay, let's proceed to the next one. Next problem. Determine the slope of the line passing through the points 4, 6, and 4, negative 1. We have 4, 6, and 4, negative 1. Okay? Let's call this point 1, the first point, and let's call this point 2. Therefore, this is x1, y1, this is x2, y2. You know the drill. The slope formula M is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Let us substitute. y2 is negative 1 minus y1, which is 6, divided by x2, which is 4, minus x1, that is 4. Negative 1 minus 6, that's negative 7, divided by 4 minus 4 is 0. Therefore, we can say that the slope is, so negative 7 divided by 0 is undefined. Okay, you cannot divide any number by 0. Okay, if you try to use a calculator, you will get a syntax error. Okay, so undefined, as we said earlier, if our slope is undefined, we have a vertical line. So let us try to confirm, okay, by graphing. This is y, this is x. First, let us plot the point 4, 6. So 4, 6 is right here. When x is 4, y is 6. While the other point, when x is 4, y is negative 1. So it's very clear again that we have a vertical line. So my drawing is not accurate, but you get the point.